Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the Force be with you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. We are going live again, and hopefully this works out better than our last show. I had technical difficulties the last show, everybody. Hey, I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with my good friend, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in geekdom land.
Right on. So, hey, our show today is, we do a couple of different shows. We do the whole Book of Boba Fett. Check those out. We are loving that show. We actually do one for each episode rather than like a season review. And then we do other nerdery topics. And so enjoying that. If you want to check us out on the web, check us out at our website, twogeeksmike.com. twogeeksmike.com. That's our hub for all things Two Geekdom. And so you can find our merch page, you can find our support page, which actually the link is our Ko-fi.com/2geeks. You can buy us a coffee. The only reason we mention that is some people like to support us and just say thanks for what we do, and all that money goes to buy Mike's Diablo Lamborghini. No, I'm just kidding. We actually use it to pay for the hosting services and Restream and all that kind of stuff. If you want to connect with us, though, our email address is show@twogeeksmike.com. show@twogeeksmike.com. And so there's all the ways to get a hold of us, and we really appreciate the opportunity to hang out with everybody. Again, I'm Steven, this is Mike, and we talk some fun geek stuff. And so today, Mike, we were sitting there going, "Oh, what should our topic be?" Because we're so excited about the whole, doing the Book of Boba Fett stuff. We're like, "Oh, wait, we've got to make sure we've got our topic that we want to do." And what's been on the books has been this whole, we love Batman. And so today Mike was like, "Hey, you need to watch this movie." I'm like, "What movie is that?" And so Mike, you tell him what movie it is.
Well, we were kind of in between topics because, we've got our anniversary episode coming up. We've got we've got our crossover podcast coming up with the Nerdery and Murdery guys. And we had another topic for this morning, and we decided to postpone that because we were going to invite a guest, and he wasn't quite ready to do the topic yet. So we were like, we got to come up with something real quick. We need, like last night we're talking about, or night before last we're talking about this. And you're right, I love Batman. Batman's one of my favorite subjects. So I was like, okay, well, let's do Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know it's been out for a few years, and it was out before we started podcasting. So we're kind of going back and looking at something that's been there for a little while. But I think it's a fun movie. I get a kick out of this movie. I remember when I seen the comic books come out, because comic books came out I think 2015.
Oh, okay.
And I seen them on the shelves, and I thought, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja, that's a weird crossover there, And
I thought so too when you mentioned it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just strange. I don't know how that would work. And but I am a casual fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I wouldn't call myself a huge fan. So I saw this, and then when the movie came out, I'm like, all right, I got to check this out, dude. And I thought it was a fun ride. I just really thought it was a fun ride. So here we are. We're going to do Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. I did not know about it. I did not know that it was a, how shall I say? It was a, a thing. Then there was a comic book with them too, and so I was like, okay, I'm up for it. I'm up for it and stuff. So, all right. So how should we do this? Do you want to go like we normally do, give our like little ratings and just a quick overview, and then just walk through it? No spoilers,
sure.
Or spoilers, or does it matter because it's been out for a while?
Well, I mean, I don't know if spoilers matter or not. I don't know. Let's see. I think we should give it a rating. I mean, we give everything else a rating. Why not?
Okay.
So let's see. Ratings on this. All right. My favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is Raphael. He's my favorite, and he carries size.
I'm all about Donatello.
All right. So Raph carries size, so I'm going to give size for mine, and Donnie carries nunchucks?
No, he's the bow staff.
Bow staff. So I'll give size, you give bow staffs. How's that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. So I will give this 4 Raphael size.
Okay. All right. 4 out of 5. I also will give it 4 out of 5 bow staffs.
Okay.
Because here's the thing about this movie, not really knowing what to expect, because you were like, oh, just watch it, kind of a thing. It was the seriousness of Batman, Batman, I am Batman, kind of a thing.
As serious as you could take a grown man running around in a bat suit fighting crime.
Correct. Real quick, we're talking about our favorite turtle. Erica says Leonardo for me.
Look, I like all 4 of the turtles, but Raphael is my favorite. He always has been. In fact, I have a Raphael action figure somewhere around here from the 90s.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Also, who else has been on the show? Matt Hampel, didn't he have some?
Matt is a huge Turtles fan. Matt loves the Turtles. So.
We probably should have gotten him on this.
We kind of did this last minute, so I don't.
That's true too. We did.
I don't know if Matt's ever watched this movie or not. I've never talked to him about it. So
I gotcha. All right. So anyway, as serious as you could be with Batman in a suit,
right?
This was a fun. The goofiness of the Turtles mixing in the Batman world in Gotham, I think was really good. And there were some fun phrases within the movie. There was some campy stuff. There was like, "Ooh, that's bad line," but that's the tone. And I was like, "But yeah, that's what makes this really good."
I think the campiness.
It was a lot of fun.
I think the campiness fits this film really well. Actually,
it does. It's not done overly. It's not overly used.
Right.
I guess I'll say it's done just right for what it is, knowing what it is, and it is self-aware. I mean, the movie is self-aware. They make some jokes in there that that are kind of funny and stuff. So yeah. Gerald Joe says Leo for me too. So he's a Leonardo fan. I think we're outnumbered on the fanship here.
I don't care. Raph's the best. Makes no difference. Raph's the best. Y'all are wrong.
Right. So, all right. So, do you want to give the premise of what the movie was about, kind of a thing? That way, people who haven't seen it may want to see it.
Yeah. So we have the enemies of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossing over with the enemies of Batman. Primarily, we have Shredder teaming up with Ra's al Ghul, which is a favorite of mine. I really like that nemesis. He's excellent. Mm-hmm. So you have that. Now, I don't think they really explained how this team up actually happened. I don't think there's really any explanation. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
And the Turtles track down Shredder to Gotham City, which is how they end up in Gotham. And the Turtles do not know anything about Batman, which I find interesting because if they're all in the same world, how do they not know about Batman?
It's city to city. You can only handle so much in each city. New York,
New York doesn't get Gotham news.
Right. Well, I did enjoy the fact they made a joke about, Gotham's just like New York.
Right. See, now I always thought of Gotham more as Chicago than New York, but
agreed. I did too, actually. And Metropolis was New York.
Right.
That's how I always viewed that.
That's the way I always looked at it. Gotham was DC's version of Chicago, and Metropolis was DC's version of New York. But it's already established that the Titans, that the Turtles are from New York, so you got to play with that, and I get it. Yeah. I'll let it slide.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Right. So the big premise I caught was, okay, the Foot Clan, Shredder and the Foot Clan are stealing devices, all this tech that, this, tech that's not out yet, this experimental, tech. And then all of a sudden it brings them to Gotham. It brings the Turtles to Gotham because they've tracked them down.
And they're going to steal from Wayne Industries.
Wayne Industries and stuff. And I loved it how the Penguin, it says, hey, somebody's stealing tech, so we probably should get involved too. Right. Kind of a thing.
I love it when the Turtles encounter the Penguin.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes, very much so.
I mean, Michelangelo is just, Mikey's just geeking out over all of the Penguins, his tech. You mean he's got a gun umbrella? That means it's a gunbrella.
Gunbrella, yeah. Right.
And I never really thought about putting those two words together, but I'm like, wow, that actually works. I like it.
Right. And then what else did it turn into? A sword?
Gotham is awesome.
Right. And then he's like, wait, then it's a helicopter? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
We call it a helicopter? Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Just the funness of the Turtles was just made this enjoyable. So I watched it with my stepson, Troy, and we were watching it. And he set up a little tent area so he could hang and watch it and stuff. We were having a good time. And so afterwards I said, what'd you think about it? He goes, that was awesome.
And that's the way it should be. The kids should look at this and just go, this is awesome. Yep. And
yeah, it is a fun film. If you haven't seen it, everybody, it's worth watching.
Yeah.
It really is.
Unfortunately, it's not on HBO Max.
No, I was surprised it wasn't. That's my first look, and I appreciate you sharing it.
Yeah, I purchased this on Blu-ray a couple years ago, around Christmas time. I think it was a Black Friday deal. I got a whole bunch of Blu-rays for real cheap price, and of course I always look for the Blu-rays with the digital codes. Right. And sure enough, that had the digital codes, so it went into my Movies Anywhere, and I was able to do the Screen Pass with you. And
right on, it was great.
We're good.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. That was cool.
No problem.
I did like the option where it said we could even watch it at the same time.
Yeah, we got to do that again sometime. We haven't done that in a while.
All right, so then there's the big battle that's going outside, but inside Wayne Manor, it's it was here's all those people here come in the Foot Clan, and then they try to attack people, and they're just holograms, and you hear Batman go, their boss gave them the night off,
but I work late.
Right. There were some campy things in there, but some of it was just totally awesome.
Oh, we forgot the fact that Commissioner Gordon wanted to send extra police force to protect Wayne Industries because they got a tip that something was about to go down. And Bruce Wayne tells Alfred, tell him we decline. And Alfred's like, would you like me to tell them that you would prefer to bash them in the face yourself, dressed as a bat? I loved Alfred in this. He was fantastic.
He's great. Sarcastic Alfred. Loved it.
It was fun. And his interaction with the turtles was great. I loved that too.
Yep.
Did a good job.
It was.
Oh, I have to say, the guy that voiced Batman in this, he actually voiced both Batman and the Joker. He did both of them.
Oh, did he? I wondered who was doing that. Yeah, I wondered who did it.
And Tara Strong returns as both Harley and Poison Ivy, which Tara Strong is just fantastic. Love Tara Strong.
Yeah, she does a great job.
Yeah.
Great job. I did see that. So, so in the fight sequence, you see Batman whoop up on some Foot Clan ninjas, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And then we get this whole sequence where he takes on Shredder. And I was like, oh, we're getting this already? At the beginning, this is great, kind of a thing.
Well, you got to have that moment, Batman takes on the enemy and technically kind of sort of loses. And that's where Batman learns the moves. And then Batman's going to come back and kick their butt.
Right. I liked how they made it a draw.
Yeah.
Between Shredder and Batman at the beginning. They were
I agree with that because you can't overpower Batman to the point where it makes Shredder look completely foolish, because he's got to be the big bad. Well, he's the big bad for the Turtles anyway. And that would just kind of defeat the whole thing if Batman came in and just completely demolished Shredder at the beginning. So, I agree. I like that. It was good. It was really good.
It was good. Now, then he goes outside, or next you see, once the Penguin escapes and the Turtles are like, hey, then they come across the Batmobile. And I was like, oh, this is hysterical. It's like, whose is that?
And once again, Mikey's like, that is awesome.
Right. Right. Totally so.
I got to say, if I saw the Batmobile like that, I would probably be doing the same thing. So,
right. Now, here comes one of the most unrealistic things in cartoon history. Batman just did a draw between him and Shredder. It is, in my opinion, is wounded entire based upon, Shredder's little final, Shagogan, kind of move. And so then he takes on the Turtles. And it was great. It was really interesting how they were like, oh, maybe he's the one who's working with Shredder, kind of a thing. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I told Troy, I said, this is those moments where in these cartoons, you when you have two heroes come together, it's always in the story that they fight each other first.
Yeah,
then they come together.
It's a comic book trope,
Yes, it is.
and I've said it about almost every one of these quote unquote verses, episodes. It's always the same thing. They start off thinking each other is the bad guy. They got to have a fight scene, and then oh wait, you're not the bad guy. Oh wait, you're not the bad. Oh, we need to work together. It's the same thing in almost every single one of these verses, things, with the exception of maybe like Hulk and Thing, who truly hate each other, or Wolverine and Hulk.
Right.
They truly hate each other. So those might be an exception to the rule, but for the most part, every one of these are the exact same thing. And it's fine. It's fine. It worked for this. This was meant to be silly, and I think it worked fine. So,
gotcha.
Besides, Batman has to beat up on the Turtles a little bit.
It was good. It was a fun action sequence. It really was. It really was. And I liked how one of them I forget which turtle it was, got thrown into the pizza parlor. I'm like, oh, you got to have pizza in there somewhere. This is great.
Oh, there was pizza all over this.
There was.
You can't have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and not have pizza.
That's right. So I'm glad they included that. Actually, as when I was a kid and watched Ninja Turtles, I was happy to see pizza come into play in the film, and we get it later on too. I didn't know that, but I was like, oh yeah, we got the pizza in there, and so then we have right after that, we see, I guess it was Raphael that was doing all the calculations. Who was it doing all the calculations? And it was like, oh, if we go this way, and all of a sudden they made it to the Bat Cave.
Yes.
Like, that's the way to do it.
No, it wasn't Raph. It was Donatello.
Was it Donatello?
Donatello's the one who's, yeah.
Okay. And I was like, oh.
Because wasn't Donatello the one who kind of teamed up with Batgirl?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, it was Donatello. Donatello's kind of the really, really super smart of the four of them.
Gotcha.
Where Mikey's like the dumbest of them.
No, they're just different personalities.
And Raphael is the brooding.
Right.
And Leonardo's the leader. So.
Yep. Okay, that's true. I like that. That's right.
That's their four personalities. So.
Yeah, that it is. Oh my goodness. I will say this: the when we see Shredder come into, Shredder then meets with. Now, I want to hear how you say it. I've heard the name of Batman's villain, so many different ways. I'm now confused on how to pronounce it.
I tend to say Ra's al Ghul.
That's what I intend to do.
I tend to say that, but it has been pronounced Raish, and I think it's also been pronounced Rosh. I have no idea what the proper way to say it is. I don't know. So
right.
I stick with Ra's because I just think Ra's al Ghul sounds cool.
Right. I agree. Ra's al Ghul. I'm like, there's no H at the end of that.
Well, yeah, but we also note in this episode, I never really noticed that Leonardo referred to Raphael as Raph, and Brendan and I are like, Raph? It should be Raph. That doesn't make sense. You pronounce it Raphael, not Raphael. So,
right.
Turtles fans out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was always Raph, not Raph.
I've heard it Raphael and I've heard it Raphael. So either way, that's just really funny how we're such nerdery. We're sitting there going off about how you pronounce names.
Well, it happens over in the Star Wars universe too. I mean, George Lucas, I think, trolls Star Wars fans because he'll say things like, "Well, we've got the snow wampa on Hoth," and all of us say Hoth, and then there's the Han versus Han debate. Most fans prefer to call Han Solo Han, but George Lucas refers to him as Han, just like Lando Calrissian said Han. So
right. They keep it ambiguous so we can have arguments and discussions about it.
This is true.
Use up about 5 minutes of our podcasting time for it.
Well, Stan Lee was once asked about heroes fighting each other, and Stan Lee, they're like, well, how come there isn't usually a definitive winner? When two heroes fight, and he goes, because you want fans to debate that for years and years. And look what we do. We do exactly what Stan Lee said. So
yeah,
he was a marketing genius.
Yes. So they do say Ra's al Ghul in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm used to saying it Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. So we'll say Ra's. And I'm used to saying Raphael and Raph.
Okay, Raphael. All right, Ra's and Raphael.
Right.
Okay. Rafe and Raish. That's probably, whoever the linguist was is probably got some kind of Southern in them. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just making that up.
Well, so do you.
I do. I want a Coke, not a pop.
I have to agree with you on that. But I'm from the Midwest, so.
Right. What kind of Coke do you want?
What flavor Coke you want? Pepsi.
Right. Cherry Pepsi, please.
Again, with me, it'd still be Coke, but.
Right. So the film was really, so we find out they're trying to, you see Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul. See, now I don't know what I'm going to do now. So the big bag Batman bad guy, and you see him come into play. And I'll be open with you. I like how they presented Ra's al Ghul in this movie.
Yeah.
I really did.
I thought they
see him. We got to see him fight. We got to see him be manipulative. We got to see him be, because he's supposed to be on par, or if not more, intellectual than Batman. And I love how they included Ra's calling him the detective.
Yes.
And that's true to the character. He calls him the detective.
Oh, I liked how Mikey put everything on the board. The pluses and minuses to Batman.
Yeah.
What was it? The Batarangs, the Batmobile, all of that was awesome. And then the bad side was what mean voice. Mean voice and something else. I don't remember what, or evil voice he put and something else. I forget. But that was pretty darn funny.
Yeah.
I just had to bring that up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun in the film. The seeing that dynamic between them, I saw the whole thing of, taking the ooze from, I liked how they brought that over from the Ninja Turtle universe. I love that.
I got a kick out of how Batgirl didn't like the word ooze.
Yes, that was good. Which was clever. I did enjoy that because I was like, okay, that you're being self-aware.
Yeah.
That was another point of being self-aware in it. And I was like, that's pretty good. The anti-mutagen, she would call it, we created an anti-mutagen. You mean anti-ooze?
Right.
No, anti-mutagen.
Yeah, I love how the turtles would not accept it. No, it's ooze.
Right.
That was great.
And then, bringing in the rest of the Rogues Gallery,
yes.
Batman Rogues Gallery was, I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. And then giving them the hybrid ooze Joker serum was fun.
Yes. And because we got to see alter egos of each of the villains.
And I thought that was fun. That served the whole mixture of the two, Batman and, Ninja Turtles coming together. I was like, that is cool. I loved how, you had Bane, you had Poison Ivy. Each one of those became an augmentation of how we know them as a character, Bane and the Brute, Poison Ivy and the Plant.
Now, wait a minute. What was Bane actually?
Bane was like I took it like was he like a wolf kind of a thing?
See, I thought he was either a cheetah or a leopard. I don't know. I wasn't 100% sure what he was.
Yeah, I wasn't either. So
obviously Harley was a hyena.
Yes.
Which made complete sense.
It all made complete sense. And I loved how they made the Joker a
snake.
Snake, yeah.
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 And Mr. Freeze turned into a polar bear, which was perfect.
Yeah.
Because he's had polar bears as kind of henchmen. And if you watch, what was it? Heart of Ice, or I forget the Mr. Freeze movie.
Isn't it Batman versus Mr. Freeze?
No, they have a name for it. It's like Heart of Ice or something.
Oh, okay.
Something to that extent. But it has a great background story on Mr. Freeze and his wife, Nora. I really, that's a great animated film, actually.
Yes. Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
But he used polar bears in that. So to turn him into a polar bear, I thought was great. I loved that. Two-Face is, I don't know. I don't know if I liked his that much.
I got where they were going with it.
Yeah, I get it.
But I was like,
And Poison Ivy? Poison Ivy she sucked. She was better as Poison Ivy.
Right.
Because that was funny. Megan was watching it with me, and when Poison Ivy changed, she's stationary and cannot move and can't go very far. And Megan goes, well, that sucks, because normally she can control her plants, and her plants can grow as far as she wants them to. But
I took it as a gag.
Yeah.
You know, for the.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious because they're like, "Oh, we could just walk around you."
You just walk around.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah, so it stipulated her. It gave it put a leash on her.
It fit her well.
Yeah,
it did put a leash on her, which is funny. Yeah.
And then the Scarecrow. I like the Scarecrow. He looked cool.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it was good. The whole crow aspect of him.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. So, yeah, everything seemed to make sense in how they augmented each one.
Yep. Agreed.
And all. Then they gave it to Batman.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, we've got Batman. Batman, Bat.
Yeah, Megan goes, so wait, he just turns into Man-Bat. I go, yep, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep, he turned into Man-Bat, so, which, I think makes sense. And it was like, well, that was stupid. You just made Batman that much more powerful. That's all you did.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, this is going to be great. But that's where they made it a little bit different to where the rest of all the rogues, Batman's rogues that got transformed, it was still them.
Yeah.
But it was almost like with Batman, they made him...
He went insane.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Because he was ready to kill everyone.
Right.
It made no difference if you were a hero or a villain. He's coming after you.
Right.
Which is why I was like, well, why in the heck would you give Batman that stuff? That's just stupid. But you also got to look, it was the Joker that gave it to him. And the Joker's insane to begin with, so he didn't care, Yeah. I mean, with Joker thinking, it's like, well, Batman's always trying to kill me. What's the difference?
Right. Well, let me ask you this. Now that I'm thinking about it, they just all took the ooze. They all had the ooze stuff. Right?
Yeah, they didn't have the mixture of the...
And that's what Batman had. Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
That's why they didn't really lose their personalities. They just changed physically.
Right.
Where Batman, it changed both his physical side and his mental side. So.
Yeah, and I will say, then they had the fight, and they gave him not the anti-ooze, the anti-mutagen.
No, you mean anti-ooze.
Right.
I'm with the turtles on this one.
Yeah. But then I thought, well, how's that going to work? Because he still had the Joker serum in there, but they didn't get into that. So I was like, I won't.
Yeah, that's something you just.
Yeah, you just go with it.
It works. It works on both.
It's a fun film. It's not meant to be nitpicked or something. We're just having
well,
a good
now
time with
they
it.
could have mixed because he had the antidote. Well, no, he had the antidote for Scarecrow's serum. He didn't have the antidote for the Joker's serum. Because Donatello, I think it was Donatello, the Scarecrow got him with his
No, that was Raphael.
No, I think it was Donnie.
The one with the swords? The guy with the sword, the turtle with the swords, because he did sword play.
The one with the swords is Leonardo.
Then it was Leonardo. Sorry.
Raph has the size. Remember?
Yeah, he is the size. Dadgummit, I'm getting all confused now.
Trust me, I know Raph has the size. That's my favorite.
It's your favorite.
You're right. Leonardo has the swords. Donatello has the stick, and Michelangelo has the.
It is not a stick. It is the bow staff.
Sure, stick. That's why I said stick.
Right.
And it's ooze too. Nunchucks. Mikey has nunchucks. So
right. So I will however the serum, they gave him the serum, whatever, and then they move in, and I loved how the big final battle takes place at Ace Chemicals.
Yes.
And I was like, Ace Chemicals, here we go, kind of a thing. And
Matt just popped in.
Hey, Matt.
Nice. Matt, we were just wondering if you had seen this yet or not.
Yes. And then he's, yep. And we were even talking about how we were wondering if we should have had you on the show.
Uh-oh, I'm going to be in trouble with him.
Right. Well, as you said, we didn't make this decision.
Yes.
He's like, yes.
Sorry, Matt. This was kind of a last minute decision. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
Matt, we were going to do another show, and then we ended up having to postpone, and they were like, well, what can we do? And Mike was like, oh, you got to watch this. And so at the beginning of our show, we were talking about you. We were saying, oh, he's got all kinds of figures. We probably should have talked to him. And Mike was like, oops. Yeah, we probably should have. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, Matt probably would have had some great insight on this because I know he's a huge Turtles fan and he's a big Batman fan. So, yeah, this is right up his alley. So I don't know. Well, we'll get to the end credit scene. Right, exactly, and then maybe next time.
Yes, next time, Matt.
Yes, next time. Yes, Matt.
We do want to have you on the show again because you're hysterical, and I love your TikToks. So, just saying. All right. All righty, dighty. So we are talking about the big scene at the end with the whole Ace Chemicals, big battle, big fight. They were piecing together this device, putting it all together with a cloud spreader, so then that way it can take the ooze and Joker serum mix and then do it over the city, make people crazy, and then Gotham destroys itself from within. I say all of that to say I love how they continued with the theme of Ra's al Ghul, who wants to bring down the city, reborn the city, have it destroy itself, because its decadence and its destruction has reached a point where it can't turn around on its own. So we should just let it destroy itself so we can rebuild.
Right.
That's the whole that I got from. I thought it was really well done in Batman Begins, the movie, bringing that out. I thought that was really good. I love how, for a villain, they think they're doing the right thing. It's one of those situations where the villain thinks, no, in order to prosper, in order to continue growth, we're going to have to destroy it. We're just helping it along the way so it hurry up and gets done, so then it can be reborn and rebuilt, and be a prosperous place again. So I love that aspect of that villain, and I love how they continued it in this movie.
Yeah, he's always been what they call an eco villain, who, like you said, he thinks he's helping humanity by destroying humanity. Yeah, he's rather insane, but he's been around for thousands of years. Right. So,
and what is it? Every time you go into the Lazarus pit, you come out a little bit more crazy.
Right. Well, that's the correct lore behind the Lazarus pit.
Right. That didn't happen in Titans, did it?
No, that's one area where the Titans screwed up, and I said I didn't like that. So, and like you said, it was you get a Lazarus pit, and you get a Lazarus pit, and you get a Lazarus pit. Yeah, right. They kind of overdid that just a little bit. So,
yes.
Look, Titans isn't perfect. It's fun, though.
Right?
It's fun. That's yeah. So anyway, Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul. So I love that villain. I love that whole thing of that's how we're going to do this, and that made sense. That was good storytelling for this film, in the Batman realm, and how he hired Shredder to get all the pieces together, so to build it and all that kind of stuff and prepare the way. I love how there was still this my Foot Clan versus the League of Shadows, who's better, who's much more betterer than the other.
I can answer that. The League of Shadows is way better than the Foot Clan because the Foot Clan are a bunch of idiots. Right. I mean, the Foot Clan's fun for the Turtles, but for Batman, that's a terrible enemy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I did like Shredder. I mean, I like the Foot Clan too. It fits the Turtles. It's fun.
Oh, yeah,
I get it.
Absolutely.
And I like Shredder, and I like putting them together with Ra's al Ghul. And I loved when Ra's introduced Shredder to the Joker, and Shredder's just like, yeah, why are we even dealing with this stupid clown? It's like, yeah, that clown, that's Batman's biggest enemy.
Right. Yeah. He's instrumental. You know,
Right.
I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he may be a clown, but he's, yeah.
Yeah, I think it showed the calculativeness. Is that a word? Calculativeness?
If it isn't, it is now.
Right. Of Ra's al Ghul versus Shredder, because it made Shredder seem like he was a little bit more of a brute, just take things head on kind of a character.
Sure.
And I thought, oh, that's a nice distinction between the two. Not saying it's anything bad about Shredder. I just thought about that they each have their two approaches to their evilness.
Right. Right. Well, in like any kind of bad guy team up, it's, you know, they have different goals, you know.
Right. Right.
Like you said, Ra's al Ghul is like this eco-terrorist who thinks that he's helping humanity, where I think Shredder's more out for himself, just period, you know. Whatever Shredder can get out of it, that's what he wants, you know. Right. You got to highlight the differences between the villains, and let's face it, each one is using the other, you know. Shredder has no respect for Ra's, and Ra's has no respect for Shredder, but they see that each one is a benefit to them in some way.
All right, let me put Matt's comment up. All right, Matt says this shows that Shredder really is weak, and I like that.
That's coming from a Turtles fan there.
Right?
I mean, well,
here we are trying to be all fair about the villain for Turtles, you know, Shredder.
And then the Turtles fan comes in and goes, nope, Shredder's weak.
He sucks. I love it.
I agree. You're right, though. He's more of a brute than he is a thinking villain. You know,
yes.
Where Ra's al Ghul is nothing but a thinking villain. Of course, a lot of Batman villains are thinking villains.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to highlight the detective side of him, which I haven't seen any movie really give good credence to his detective ability.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to get more of that ability in the new one coming up in March with Robert Pattinson. I think it's supposed to highlight more of the detective side of him.
And how smart he is. Yeah. Okay.
And we're going to have some episodes leading up into that too. So,
okay.
I'll give a spoiler alert, or I'll give a little hint into what I think we will be going into. I think we're going to try and do a Hush episode before the Robert Pattinson movie.
Yes.
Because I'm still
and the movie we're going to go through.
We're going to go through both the comic and the movie. I just got to give both of us time to read the comic and watch the movie. And we got a few other things, you know, we're planning before then. So
we got a lot going on.
But
Man, you give me so much more homework now.
I know. I know.
Yep. Hi, Angie. Welcome, Angie. Great to have you with us. I missed Matt's comment.
Matt said all-time Batman series. So I guess he's saying Hush is his all-time. Now, I Hush is high up on the list for me. But all-time, I give that to Dark Knight Returns. You know, that's my ultimate.
You're talking about comic book wise.
Yeah, comic book wise.
Okay, comic book wise. Okay.
Definitely.
All right.
It's Dark Knight, Killing Joke, 3 Jokers, and then Death in the Family, and then probably Hush after that. But
dude, you just rattled that off. Boom, 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 boom.
Now, Death in the Family sometimes changes places, though. I really like that story. So,
all right. Yeah. Matt says, "Shut up! You think Venom is amazing?"
Yeah, you shut up, Matt. Venom is amazing, by the way.
So Angie just asked, "What is Hush?" Why don't you go through and tell us? What Hush is. So Batman Hush.
Batman Hush is a series that came out, I want to say 10 years ago. It's been a while now.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Jim Lee wrote it. which, by the way, Jim Lee is he grew up in St. Louis. Jim Lee has ties to St. Louis.
That.
Yes. So Jim Lee is a hometown boy.
Okay.
Anyway, Jim Lee wrote Hush, and Hush, I don't want to give away too much of the story, but Hush plays a lot into the Riddler story. And I don't want to say too much outside of that.
Yeah, there's a balance there. So
Right.
yeah. So so would you say it's worth reading or
Heck yeah.
watching the film?
Yeah.
Is the comics different than the film?
Yes, and we're going to go over that when we do our Hush episode.
So depending on your time, because the series is, how long's the series? Now, if you have Kindle Unlimited through Amazon, you can get Hush for free as part of your Kindle. Not the new, they rebooked Hush, so it's the older book of Hush. Yeah. Oh, look, he's got it right there.
Brenda just got me the trade paperback for Christmas.
That's the new, by the way, that's the new trade paperback.
Well, I mean, it's the original story, though.
It is the original story.
This is the original story.
Stuff. That's the new cover.
Right. Yes.
And so anyway, Kindle Unlimited, you can get it on there. You can get it. Not you got to go through Kindle Unlimited site to do it. Cause it took me a little bit to try to find it, to make sure, cause that's what I'm going to read to get me ready. And I've read it a long time ago.
I'm going to read my trade paperback
in the film. Yeah. Or unless you got DC Unlimited, and then you can pull it off of that.
Yeah, that's true. Not DC Unlimited, I guess. Oh, whatever the DC is now.
Infinite. DC Infinite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, DC Infinite, or whatever the app's called, because it's called Marvel Unlimited, and so
they don't give page numbers in it. I was trying to look and see how many pages it was.
Oh, that's well. I'd probably pull it up on the whatchamacallit, Audible.
Yeah, I don't remember how many issues
Kindle
it was.
Amazon.
It's a pretty big series, though. It's a pretty big series.
It is. That it is. It is.
Worth reading.
So it's a big series, so you got to give yourself
reading.
time to read it. And then, or if you don't have that time, then you can watch the film. That was kind of the whole point of that discussion. Don't tell me I'm slow. Angie, I'm a slow reader too.
Yeah, that makes three of us, Angie. And I have tons of books to read and stuff, so
right.
I'm so behind on all my reading.
Right. All right, so we're coming to the end of talking about, or excuse me, the end of the finale. We're talking about the finale of the movie. It happens at Ace Chemicals, which I thought was so fitting, because we're talking about chemical makeups of stuff and doing the spreading, the ooze / Joker venom on everybody. It's the Joker serum. And which is really good. You get to see everybody take on somebody and all this great fighting. You had Batman, you had Robin, Damian. That's Damian Wayne, right? That was Damian Wayne.
Yes, that was Damian. Well, he says father. So
he does. So I was like, oh, it's Damian Wayne.
Yeah,
Robin.
Megan asked me, she's like, Dad, which Robin is that? I said, I'm pretty sure it's Damian. And then all of a sudden, when Batman changes to Batman, he goes, father? And I was like, yep,
right.
It's Damian.
It's Damian.
So
Wayne.
Damian's the only one that calls him father. So yeah, and plus his costume kind of represented the Damian. And I have to say, I'm not a huge Damian fan. I've never really cared for him a whole lot, but certain of these animated films, I like him more. Because I really do like him a lot in this one. And then one of the Titans animated films, I liked him a lot in that too.
Oh.
So I can't remember which one it was, though. I'll have to go back and rewatch some of them. But yeah, every now and then they'll come up with an animated film with Damian, and I'm like, oh, I really like this version of Damian. It's a good version. So I thought this one was a good one. But this was a lot more playful than what Damian is. He had a little bit of his broodiness, but yeah, I enjoyed this version of him. I thought it was good.
Now, real quick question for you as far as Damian Wayne goes. This is a little squirrel for me. Didn't they kill him in the comics?
I don't know. I'm not 100% caught up on that. I heard rumors they did. But
because then I thought, well, maybe they killed him off and put him in the Lazarus pit to bring him back.
Well, yeah. Well, that's Jason Todd. And that's what they did with Jason Todd. And he became the Red Hood, which I like him better as the Red Hood.
Yeah. Which that's a great animated film as well, by the way.
That's one of the best. As far as DC animated goes.
Yeah.
That is, man, I highly recommend the Red Hood.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so it was really good. So I'll tell you, as the ending of this, I thought was really good. It was great action all the way through. It was fun. It was goofy, Turtles goofy, just the right amount of goofiness without being overly goofy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. It had enough campiness, to be Turtles Turtles crossing over with Batman, but not over campy. You had all the aspects of the Turtles. We had all the fun, goofy lines that the Turtles give us. We had the pizza, of course. Even Batman ate a slice of pizza. I mean, how cool is that? Loved it.
Erica asks, "Hey, I need to see this. Is it good for Riker's age?"
Oh yeah, Erica, I think you're okay with it.
No, wait, are you talking about this movie? Because we've been talking about Red Hood for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
About Turtles. Yes, there are some scenes where you see a shuriken go through one of the Foot Clan's heads. You see there, kind of thing. There is a little bit of blood here and there, but it's animated and it's not overly done.
Right.
It's not overly. It's PG. PG.
That's a good clarification, though, because if Erica was talking about Red Hood, definitely not Red Hood. Red Hood is not for kids. No, nope.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, Matt said, here, let's put Matt's on the screen. If I can get my cursor there. So Matt said, I wish it was more original Turtle, less goofy.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, Matt, but I think this worked for this, I think it was meant for a younger audience too.
Right.
I mean, if we go back in Turtles history, like original TMNT, they weren't really for kids. That it was kind of a graphic novel in the early 80s. They were pretty dark, actually. And then as it became more mainstream, it became a little more goofy and more kid-friendly. No kids allowed.
Right.
Eric,
I liked your icons you put in there.
Oh, nice. That's good. I like that, too.
I would say preview it, as I always tell parents, preview it for yourself. Because I know different kids let their kids watch different things. We know one family that let their kids watch Game of Thrones with them.
Wow.
I was like, okay.
Well, I've told you the story. I've told you a story about when Megan was much younger and, she had watched the first Michael Keaton Batman film, and then she had never seen Batman Returns, and I was like, oh, let's watch Batman Returns. You like Batman? And then as we were watching, I was like, whoa, maybe I shouldn't have let her watch this one,
Right.
Because it's filled with sexual innuendos, and it's quite adult. And then I'm like, well, we're halfway through it. I've already made the mistake. I can't tell you, no, you can't watch this anymore.
Right. Like, well, I'm already knee deep in it now. Might as well just keep going.
Yeah, might as well soldier forward, right?
I think that's what happens to all of us as parents. Is we all do that where we burst our kids' bubble. We keep this. We try to protect them, and then we think, oh, this movie will be okay, or this will be fine, and then something happens in it. So yeah, it's pretty funny. So where can I watch it? Angie's asking. So it's I know it's on Vudu because I have Vudu. I looked at that. Well, first we looked to see if it was on HBO Max, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and I think that's because this is a crossover between DC Comics and IDW, because I believe IDW has the rights to TMNT right now, or at least the comic book and animated version of it. So yeah, I don't know where you can. I don't know if you can watch it free, quote unquote. I own the disc, and therefore I have the digital copy because I said earlier I got this like on a Good Friday deal, and it had the digital copy, so I watched it on Movies Anywhere. But
yeah, and then he shared it with me because I looked to see if I had it or not, or if I could find it for free, and I couldn't. And so it's on Vudu. You can rent it for $3.99. I think is what it was, and free on Plex. Didn't hear that from me. Just said it out loud. Whoopsie. Oopsie.
We are not promoting pirating.
Right. I'm not. I'm already enough trouble with the government as it is. I don't need anything else.
Let's not talk about that. All right. So the finale of Batman versus TMNT.
Back to the finale. Hey, everybody. Thanks for interacting. We really appreciate it. It's nice to have stuff to interact and talk with people, and share with. I do have to say this, Angie, where you talk about that's like the time when Deadpool first came out and there were a number of kids at the theater. Yeah. I was like, it's rated R. Even though they did the whole PG-13 thing and stuff like that. So,
well, Deadpool has a bunch of kids that like it too. I'm not saying that it's for kids. It's definitely not.
Right.
Yeah. Deadpool's got its own audience, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, let's see. The ending of this, I enjoyed we got to see some good action on the part of Ra's al Ghul. We got to see him do swordplay and all that kind of stuff, which was great. We got to see some good Batman action, Batgirl. I mean, the whole thing was good. The whole Bat family with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle family, which was interesting. We did not see Splinter.
No.
In this. I thought that was interesting.
Splinter was mentioned, and he was talked about.
He was only mentioned as father, right?
Well, I think because they talked about that one move that only Shredder and Splinter know, and I think Splinter was mentioned there. But yeah, for the most part, you're right that he was only mentioned as father because the Turtles do call him father. So,
right,
right.
And Batman called him their father.
Right,
proud,
right,
kind of a thing. I said that a couple times.
Sure,
right.
sure.
Gotcha.
One thing I wanted to talk about was so when the turtles ended up in their vehicle, some of the turtles ended up in their vehicle, and Robin was with them, and Robin's like, why do you have this thing? This thing's junk, And then, of course, they have all their souped up stuff, kind of like the Batmobile in some ways.
Right.
And then he's like, oh, okay, I get it now. But then you've got Michelangelo in the Batmobile with Batman, and Michelangelo is freaking out because he wants to touch everything in the Batmobile.
Touch all the buttons.
Right. And Batman's like, do not touch anything, in true Batman form. And then when they get to that one point where, the Batmobile is kind of stuck, and he just looks at Michelangelo and goes, touch everything.
Right.
And I thought Michelangelo's head was going to explode. I loved it.
Right.
And he's like, I'm going to touch every button.
Right. It was great. That was a great Turtles moment style.
That was
what I mean?
funny.
You had a good mixing of the styles. Yes. Absolutely.
And then you had Robin go, I've always wanted to touch every button.
Right.
Even
Right.
I don't get to do that.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was good. So we'll continue talking about. I have been dying to talk about the post-credit scene. So I'll wait till we're ready. If you're ready to talk about it, I'm ready to talk about it.
I'm ready.
Okay. So at the final battle, right at the end.
One thing.
Okay, yes. Go
So
ahead.
I had watched this, and I'd watched this a couple years ago when I got it. I don't think I watched the post-credit. So when you texted me the other night and went, "Oh, I love the post-credit," I was like, "There's a post-credit scene? Oh, I guess I better watch all the way through." Because the DC animators, they don't know. That's not a normal thing for them. So
No,
I
not
wasn't.
even at that time. It wasn't.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And
Yeah.
so, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So you see Shredder fall into the vat, then the whole place explodes or whatever, vat of chemicals. I'm like, oh, just like the Joker, what happened with him, blah 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 blah. I didn't think much of it. So we got the music playing, and I had the movie playing through my computer because you shared it with me, and I couldn't figure out how to get it on a big screen. So I made my TV just another screen for my computer so we could watch it.
See, if you had Apple TV, you could have done that.
Right, I don't have an Apple. Blah 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 blah.
See, I have a Movies Anywhere app on my Apple TV, and I can watch anything in my Movies Anywhere on any Apple device, including my televisions, because I have Apple TVs. So
yes.
So
just so you know, everybody,
you should stop using inferior product.
It's always this PC versus Mac stuff. So.
Yeah, that's our insight.
Mike is Mac, I am PC, so we have fun interactions on that. So anyway, so I was too lazy to get up to move my cursor over to stop the movie because we're just hanging out. And sure enough, the credits ended. I'm like, oh, that was fun music and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, here comes this scene.
Well, now
Shredder.
in the credits had great combinations of Batman and Turtles comic books.
Yes, they did,
because they had classic Batman stuff, and they threw the Turtles in, and I love that.
Right. Matt's joining in.
That's right. That is exactly why his computer stops from time to time. Because he's using inferior products, and I'm using a MacBook.
Yeah, Matt, did I ever tell you you're never coming on the show again?
That's hilarious. All right, now we'll get to it. Sorry.
All right. So all of a sudden, Shredder comes up out of the chemicals, and then he turns. You see him from the back of the head and then head over the shoulder, and it looks like the Joker. Shredder / Joker.
Shredder combination Joker. So that would be.
And I was like, oh, what? I'm thinking, ooh, is there a sequel to this? That's where my brain first went.
Right.
And stuff.
Well, as far as I know, they have not done a sequel, at least in the movies.
In the movies, there hasn't been a sequel.
There's been a few comics. Actually, I kind of want to go back and get the comics now. And they're available in trade paperbacks, too, so that's probably how I would buy them. I'm not going to hunt down individual issues of this. But so I don't know if... I'm hoping they do a sequel in the movies, because I think it would be fun, and it sure would be interesting to see a combination of Joker / Shredder.
Mm-hmm.
That would be pretty neat. So,
as a villain, heck yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
And also see him team up again and do all that. So, I'll yes, Angie, trade paperbacks are the best. Yes, they are. I like them and stuff. So, so you hadn't seen that then until just
not the post-credit scene. I honestly did not realize. I think I stopped it, probably mid-credits or whatever. And
once they finished showing all the different comic books, right? Covers and stuff like that. Yeah, absolutely.
I may have actually stopped it and not even watched the comic because I didn't even remember that. And when I was rewatching it, I was like, "Oh wow, these are awesome! I like this." Heck, I wouldn't even mind having prints of a lot of these.
Right? They were good. Yeah,
they were really cool. Nice little combo between classic Batman comics and TMNT. I thought was really, really cool. So yeah, I watched that, and then I'm like, oh wow, okay, there's an end credit scene. Had no clue, did not know.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think when you saw it?
I thought, where's the sequel?
Right.
I mean, this came out a couple years ago. Where's the sequel to this thing?
Where's the sequel to it? Right.
So either it didn't sell good, or it got postponed because of COVID, or I don't know.
I'd say there's so many, they're all trying different things, and to see how it would pan out with the different ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm hopeful they do come out with a sequel to this. I'm up for it.
Yeah.
I'm game.
Yeah, Erica, I agree with you. I'd love to see the Shredder Joker character. I think it would be awesome. Awesome, indeed awesome. I think it'd be really good to see.
Well, it'll be fun, just the fact that when Shredder met Joker, he thought, what the heck is this guy? So, yeah, it'd be fun to see a combination of the two. And I think it could be. There's also another Batman animated film. I know our friend Theron does not like this film. he and I both watched this when it first came out, but there's Batman Ninja.
Oh yeah,
I think Batman Ninja is fun. I really like it.
We'll do an episode on it.
Yeah, we'll have to do a Batman Ninja episode,
but we won't invite Theron. I'm just. I know Theron listens to the show. So
yeah. Yeah, Theron is not a big fan of that. He didn't like it. And I was shocked because, it's kind of anime. It's kind of in the Japanese anime style, and he loves anime. So I thought this would be right up his alley. Batman and crossed with anime and ninjas. I'm like, how many more elements does he need? Maybe throw Spider-Man in there. That'd about be the only thing missing.
I've always enjoyed like the Elseworld stories and stuff like that.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool. I liked it. But when they showed that Shredder crossed with Joker, I kind of imagined the Joker that we get in Batman Ninja.
Oh, Batman Ninja.
Yeah.
Maybe that is our sequel.
I don't know. I hope that wasn't the sequel to this, but
right.
I enjoyed it, but yeah, where were my turtles if that was the case? So.
Right.
Okay. Anyway.
Right. Oh my goodness. So this was great. This was good. Actually, I need to write that down. Batman Ninja, because we always come up with more topics
while we're recording.
Right.
True.
Yeah. Batman Ninja.
Oh, I really have not looked at this. Matt says that the thank you. Matt says the Batman Ninja figures are amazing but not cheap. I'll bet they are amazing. I need to look at those.
Yeah. I've seen the Batman Ninja one, and it's phenomenal.
Turtle power. Oops.
Angie's headed to the comic store. Peace out, Angie. Have a great time.
I meant to put Erica's up there. Turtle power. That was great.
Turtle power.
And Angie's popped in right as I was trying to put it in, and that's funny.
Yep. Well, that being said, we probably need to wrap up anyway because we've talked about it. We enjoyed the film. It is a fun film. It is worth watching. Definitely worth the rental, as well. Oh, Angie, thank you so much.
Yes,
Angie
thank
said,
you,
don't
Angie.
forget, everyone, buy us a coffee on Ko-fi. It's a bit lonely over there.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Angie's one of our biggest supporters.
Yes, she is.
We do get some people who drop some money here and there and stuff. But Angie, thank you so much for your support. We really do appreciate it.
And just to let everyone know, we're thinking of some ideas of refiguring Ko-fi. We've got some things in the works.
We do. And that is the website for that is Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/2geeks. And that just helps us support us. Realistically, we do use that money to pay for, as we say every episode, to pay for Mike's Diablo Lamborghini. Just kidding.
I prefer the red one.
What'd you say?
I said I prefer the red Diablo Lamborghini.
The red. That's the red color, right? Yeah. Angie, come join the dark side. We have goodies. By golly, that's right. We're kind of excited about some of the ideas that we've got brewing about Ko-fi page and for those who help support us and stuff. So, Matt, the drinks. All right. Well, with that being said, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. This has been fun. It's great to have interactions on the show. We love it, love it, love it. I love it a lot.
Yep.
Anyway, so this has been a fun episode. It's a fun show. It's a fun movie. Mike, thank you so much for recommending it.
Thanks for watching it. I thought this was fun. I thought you'd like it. I'm glad you did.
I did like it. I did. A lot. Anyway, with that, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Again, check out our website, 2geeksmike.com, the number 2geeksmike.com. That's kind of our hub for everything else, Facebook page, YouTube channel, Twitch page, all that kind of stuff. And Angie says, shh. That requires a special VIP. Erica, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you,
and
Erica.
thanks for being here with us. You've been a part of it, too, to make it a good show. So thank you so much. All right, Mike, I will let you close us out for the day.
Oh, well, with that said, and since we've had Batman and the Turtles, see you next time. Same bat channel. Same bat time, same bat channel. And go eat some pizza. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,